One of our brethren some years ago spoke of the payment of tithing as fire insurance. Nonetheless, the word of the Lord is clear that those who do not keep the commandments and observe the laws of God shall be burned at the time of his coming. For that shall be a day of judgment, a day of sifting, a day of separating the good from the evil. I would venture a personal opinion that no event has occurred in all the history of the earth as dreadful as will be the day of the second coming, as fraught with the destructive forces of nature, as consequential for the nations of the earth, as terrible for the wicked, and as wonderful for the righteous.
So 3 hours, not 4. So surprise, you're Russian, Americans. I'm going to have to break this up. I don't know what else to do because this is going to be an all-hour, day-long thing. So we'll have to break it up into segments and do hour-long segment videos. That's going to be frustrating. And so, yeah, this is what I'm wondering about the Danites. Because we know Russia does this. I've already exposed that there are secret Russian agents within the Mormon Church. There's even a member of 70 from Russia. And so, yeah, they have their sleeper cells still in America. And in 2017, yeah, I exposed many in America who were commenting, pretending to be Mormon and offended and trying to Mormon-splain to me. Really? You're a Russian claiming to be a Mormon online on my YouTube channel making comments to me telling me I'm wrong about Mormonism as I'm born and raised in the Covenant Mormon. And sure enough, when I would respond, yeah, they'd confess, oh, you caught us. Well, I can't wait to get back to my country. They are here specifically on assignment, under the orders of Putin. And the news has been covering and what they're doing secretly. They're going around recording information for Putin, infrastructure, and major military operations and funding. So Maria Butina, yeah, she was a spy. They're all spies. She got in with the NRA. Those old men. Oh, I love you. They fell for it because we're old and desperate. She's a redhead. And so, yeah, the honeypot trap worked. And they got her in to interview Trump at his campaign rally for 2016. And she was also involved with the church, but she doesn't seem to care about the church, but the prayer breakfast, getting people, Russians, through the NRA at this prayer breakfast to connect with government leaders at this prayer breakfast. And the church with the Council for National Policy are part of this prayer breakfast every year. And so, yes, the church is involved with Russia, as Trump was. All of this have cooed America. These are the secret combinations that are destroying our government that the Book of Mormon warns you about. and you're not listening. You don't care. I think that's what we'll do. We'll do hour-long segments. And so maybe have to do a quick video at the beginning of the part 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So my whole day is shot. So, no. Alright. So yeah, people are going to come to the other parts and not bother to go to the first one to figure out what's going on. So yeah, I'm still wondering about others. We know that China has been buying up American land because what do you do for that? Why is the church building temples all over the world? With tithing, Section 119. It's for after Armageddon with the destruction. Who owns the land rules the people. They are the slave owners. This is why the church has been escalating the number of temples, getting the land. Where's that temple in Russia again? So, we can throw away that one now. Okay, Section 85. In part 63 of the series of 1 hour each. Oh my God. So to make it easier for me, I'm going to have to do some... Alright. It's a good thing this is an extra long weekend holiday, but I was going to use it to do stuff. You know, like women's fashion. As this is most likely the start of another video. So people are going to hear this and go, who is this guy? What the hell is he talking about? Russia? What? That's the frustrating thing about YouTube with these playlists, is I'm going to have to make it a separate playlist for you, in case you didn't know. So, yeah, I'm going to have to write it down. But we're definitely putting the theme song as the blood thing from John Wick. John Wick Bloodline, I think it's called. We'll resurrect that song after I saw that DVD of number 4, John Wick 4. Yeah. And then playlist. Make book log God playlist. Yeah, once I get rid of these small stuff, which they're almost gone, there's just that much left, then I go to the pink ones that I've got collected. I buy the collection of different colored Post-it notes and then set out the pink ones because I like pink, favorite color pink. And so when I'm about out, I just have this orange one also left, and then I can only have pink left. And so as you can see, this pink, this is from my bedside. That's where I'm using that. And so the hypnotism thing I was inspired for last night. So yeah, we don't need to worry about this. We'll cross this all out. And so it's longer than a 3-hour tour, huh? It's going to go on to 4 hours. But we're finished. I'm just discussing my... Well, never mind. 4 hours. And so I think we're done with the internet. You can close down the Wikipedia page on Doctrine and Covenants. And yeah, I already went over Trent, liar for Jesus, has their naming. Henry Kearns contributed 1,200 pumpkins, Danite. Joseph H. Hovey, Danite, struggled to find work and provide for his family as he worked on the temple and paid his debts and provided needs for his family. Others paid his debts. Yeah, Danites. That's what Freemasons do. That's how Joseph Smith got the hot farm in Manchester. He became a master mason. Here's the farm. We'll help you. We'll take care of you. Freemasonry does this. They're Scottish rites. They do this. They take care of each other. Joseph G. Hovey made the sacrifice to betray Joseph and the Book of Mormon, and thus was taken care of by the Danites until you don't, like John C. Bennett. And then the devil does not support his own when you do not suit their purposes. And so John C. Bennett had to form his own halcyon order of the Illuminati, because he can't be a Danite anymore. This is what you're witnessing here. When you know the facts, when you are intelligent about the subject matter, you're not stupid moron with spiritual witness feelings. And you see what they're doing here. See, Mormons with their spiritual witness feelings go, oh, Mary Parsons gave 7 baskets of her tithing donation, because tithing's a donation and Mary Parsons is not a polygamous wife. In March of 1842. That's the list of only women. Where's the dates for John H. Reed? Or Joseph G. Hovey? We have Henry Kearns, but that's the fall of 1843, after 1845 was inserted in 1842. This is when I think they were starting to name on tithing, on tithing, on tithing, on tithing. It's no longer called a donation. This is the trick. This is the con. And Mormons don't see it. They think it's all faith promoting. Yay, church is true. Jesus is coming. He's going to burn you, Travis. You're mean. You're not letting us have our religious freedom to take your agency away and destroy your life. November 27th, 1832. It's important to get names of persons, places, events, dates in separate categories, so that when you see November 27th, 1832, you go to the date page file and you see, okay, that was section 85. And then you see other dates around that time period. And you go to those and you say, oh, okay, what happened on that? And then there's something else going on. And then there's something else. There's an event. There's another name. There's another, And so this is how you do research. Trent demonstrated from Elizabeth also how not to do research by purposely leaving out the dates, by making up your own date. As Bruce R. McConkie got caught again, putting the wrong date. But it was just a day rather than a year for section 10. And so I'd have to go do a thorough check to find out what was on the 6th of September. But dear God, I've had enough bombshells already. And so, knowing that it's a letter, knowing when this was put into Brigham's Doctrine and Covenants, not Joseph's, that Joseph never published this. This was only the letter, but Brigham Young had it. And so you need to know these things. That Brigham Young is purposely using the letter to W. Phelps for his purposes. And he's coming out with polygamy to replace monogamy at the same time with this. All of this needs to be understood in the context. He's talking about Independence, Missouri, where north of there is Adam-on-Diamond. You need to know the context of the big picture, or you're going to miss it. And they don't talk about Section 85. They leave it out. That's where the book of the law comes from, and they leave it out. And so, let's proceed. It is the duty of the Lord's clerk, whom he has appointed, to keep a history and a general church record of all things that transpire in Zion. The church has kept this going. They really don't reveal him. They have the secretary to the president. I don't know if he's also considered the Lord's clerk. I know F. Michael Watson claimed to have authority from Jesus to be the president in a letter he wrote to me that my dad then threw away. It was over Paleo-Hebrew. I'm already too long. I've already ruined my day. So I still got to check the news. Dear God, to keep a history and general church record of all things that transpire in Zion, and of all those who consecrate properties. That's not tithing. And receive inheritances legally from the bishop. You know, donations, the law of consecration, not from Brigham Young's temple endowment ceremony, with the penalty of death if you don't give everything to the church. Nope, this is donations. This is how Joseph did it. Do not put in Brigham Young's way. You are wrong. This is not a criminal operation. This is people who are a part of the church, want to be a part of the church, who believe it's the learning of the Jews, who donate, who are not threatened with death, who are not criminally compromised. They're just religious people wanting to help build their religion. And also their manner of life, their faith, and works. And so, yeah, Brigham Young, just faith promoting. We're not going to talk about the evil apostates. They're supposed to. And also of the apostates who apostatize after receiving their inheritances. So Gerald and Sandra Tanner are supposed to be recorded by the clerk of the church because they apostatized. Brian David Mitchell, recorded by the clerk for apostasy. This is why I tell you, those of you who have put in your request through your bishop to have your records removed from the church. There it is, right there in verse 2 of section 85. They still lied to you. They still have your records. Your records just have apostate stamped on it. They still have all your information, all your personal information. They still have the ledger of all the tithing you've paid to them or didn't pay to them. They keep track still after you've left. Because there was a woman in West Valley when I was a church service missionary for the ward. I decided to go and get to know my neighbors, and came across one neighbor, and she had been a Mormon, and she was excited to see me, and I guess only because she thought I was single. It was weird. She wrote a letter to the bishop accusing me of things that I don't remember. I just went over and said, "Oh, okay, yeah, I'll let the missionaries know, and they can come over and see you." And so now I was trying to bring her back into the church when she had left, and she was angry and mean, and the bishop never read me the letter. He just told me about it. But yeah, it was weird. I guess because she thought I was pressuring her to come back to church. No, I just reported her through the proper channels, and they did their thing to come and see her. And it was overwhelming, I guess. She wanted to go slow. But it wasn't me. I was just the first contact. But yeah, it was weird. But yeah, the bishop already knew about her, even though she was not listed in his ward records. He submitted the information to the church membership records department, as they have to find out if people have a record on file already. And it would help if Mormons, when they move, tell the clerk that they're moving and where they're moving to, and then when they move, tell the clerk there also to say, "We're here, and this is where we came from, this is our membership record number, and this is who we are, and this is our birth date, this is when we were baptized," and blah blah blah, to help the clerk submit the request for the membership records to be transferred to the ward. And if you do it at the ward you leave from, the clerk would then notify the membership department to have the records sent to the new location that you tell them that you're moving to. But if you don't, then things get mixed up and confusing, and nobody can find it, and blah blah blah. And then my brother was in charge of that at one time, but I guess he's not in charge of that anymore, because he was then threatened by the church to silence my voice, destroy me, earlier this year. But regardless of what my brother does for the church, whatever it is he does, he's a PhD and he's working for the church. That's all you need to know right there. So whether it's because of Oaks talking to those 16-year-old girls, telling them to start breeding rather than going on a mission, and you can see how well they behaved and listened. 72,000 missionaries now, mostly women. He did the little slide presentations that were insufficient and inaccurate about how Mormons are not getting married quicker. That could be my brother. That's sociology. He's a PhD in sociology, as I told you. From BYU. And then tried to get it from the University of Michigan. And they said, "No, you didn't follow any of the processes and procedures of sociology. What are you doing?" "I'm Mormon and you have to give it to me." Fine, the religion card. Take it and get out of here. Ta-da! You went to my mom. He's a fraud. And the church compromised him because of this. They compromised him with his poor education at BYU. Right, John Delan? And so he used the religion card to get a PhD. He didn't get it from being an expert in the field. He's a great memorizer. He would do great on Jeopardy. But despite being the valedictorian of high school, Norco High, and of BYU, he's a dumbass. He doesn't know anything. He's not intelligent. Don't let his memorization ability fool you. And so the church made him who he is, and then used it against him to threaten him to attack me, his older brother, who is intelligent. And I'll even dare refer you to Abraham chapter 3. If I am the latter-day prophet, seer, revelator, and translator of Paleo-Hebrew and Egyptian, what do you think that means in Abraham chapter 3? Put the pieces of the puzzle together. And so I had this commenter on the comment video yesterday that ruined the other video of the bombshell news. Who dares Israel-splain to me? Get the hell off my channel. And he was wrong. He was Israel-splaining, and he was wrong. Dear God, it's 9:30. "25 minutes in to part 2 of the 3-hour tour." Oh, dear God. And so, yes, they keep track of you, ex-Mormons. You were excommunicated. They still have you on file because they know you're excommunicated. They still have me, but I wasn't excommunicated. I just left. I'm a part of the 13 million Mormons who just left, who want nothing more to do with the church. We try to hide from the church, but they know us. They know where we are. They know how to find us. That's why I wouldn't tell my second ex, even though her first husband, who's now an ex, and unsealed, because in order to marry me, she had to cancel her sealing with him. He's a Danite on the list, and I can't call her about it because she keeps asking me, "Where are you? Where do you live? Where are you? I want the address." No, because you're going to tell people who are wanting to hurt me. God. So yeah, that's how the shelter happened. Saw her on the bus one morning. She didn't recognize me. I could have remained silent the whole time. She would have never known I was there. I purposely let her know I was there. I was being clever and funny. I had the vision there. And so yeah. She was married to a Danite. Dear God. And so yeah, our sealing with the sealing cancellation is in the records. See, the bishop only gets our sealing not sealing cancellation. We're still sealed. The first one, yeah, sealing cancellation. Her first husband canceled. But with us, no, we're still sealed. But she will not have sex with me. It's just... because we're divorced. It's actually annulled. It's not divorced, which means it never happened. We never had sex. Nope, didn't happen. We weren't married. Never happened. The church has it on file. We were married. We were sealed. Room number 13 of the Salt Lake Temple. We had our wedding supper feast at the Lion House next to the Beehive House. Samson. Again, put the pieces of the puzzle together, guys. I've been doing videos like this for too long for you to not put the pieces of the puzzle together. If I am the latter-day prophet, seer, revelator, translator, prophet, seer, revelator, translator, I'm the fulfillment of all prophecy in the learning of the Jews. I am Samson. I am Emmanuel, by name. Good Zell is God's soul. Latin for soul is solar, sun. Sun God. That's me, Travis. I did the video the other day too at the end. I think the comment reply video. The Travis not only means he who is from the crossroads, thus combined with sun god, he who is from the crossroads of the sun god. What are the crossroads of the sun god? Those are eclipse shadows on the earth. The latter day prophecy. The 3 days of darkness. The sun shall be darkened. Casts a shadow on the earth. What does it form? What is the shape formed by the 3 days of darkness on the United States of America for the latter days? The Hebrew letter A. And the last letter, Tau, which is a cross, not a T. It's the Chi in Greek. The crossroads. With 8 April 2024. The first to have theirs out in the Pacific before they reach America. But that final one crosses both of the first two. The first crossing with the first day of darkness, Monzon's birthday, the ancient religious calendar new year of the Egyptians, they knew, is the location for Zion. X marks the spot. It's not Missouri, not Independence, not Adamonte-Ammon. That's the Danites. They're trying to trick you. 19 July 1840, Joseph Smith tells you. No, it's not Missouri. The Latter-day Temple is in southern Illinois. It's not Nauvoo. It's X marks the spot. Joseph Smith knew all this. I told you, the facsimiles, they're purposely put in the order they're put in. They were purposely selected out of all the others. Joseph knew. Those are the 3 days of darkness in Egyptian that the Egyptians knew. And so the second crossing from the second day of darkness that we just had in October here in Utah, not a coincidence. All three have to do with the church, where they cross over. It crosses in Texas, Travis County, Crossroad County of the Sun God. The Native American Indians that lived in southern Illinois, where the first crossing is for the location of Zion, the city of the sun, which in Egyptian is Heliopolis. They called themselves the Sun People of the Sun God at the Sun City, making human sacrifices to the Sun God. Human sacrifices. The sign of his death. That's it. 8 April 2024, the sign of his death. Revelation 19. Those Native American Indians knew. But where'd they go? Well, after the Kensington stone was carved by the Knights Templar with the Mandan Indian tribe, they bought the eastern United States, where Little Egypt and the caves of Egyptian gold treasure plates are rumored to be. Remember Joseph? John Taylor said, Joseph told me that there were caves of plates. Caves in southern Illinois. Not Hill Cumorah. Oops, somebody took it literal. Because Joseph Smith Sr. was a master mason of Canandaigua of the Knights Templar. York writes, they knew all this. Joseph Smith Sr. was also a Jewish Kabbalist, which have many similar patterns. About a Christ who is a human, the bloodline, the Holy Grail. Thus Joseph is the bloodline to be the starting Christ. I am the beginning and the end, the first and the last, the author and finisher, Alpha and Omega. That's Greek. In Paleo-Hebrew, it's Aleph and Tau. And then Hiram is the other bloodline for the Latter-day Christ that I've been going with you in the Book of Mormon. And so that's what I have to discuss my future with you for. Is do I go back to just doing videos about the Book of Mormon prophecy of the latter days and the learning of the Jews? But they failed today. It's the Jewish New Year, or 9/11 New Year. It's the Jewish 9/11 today. In their calendar, it's the 9th month, 11th day. And there are hostages that are supposed to be freed. And we still have yet to hear about it yet. This is what you're missing with your spiritual witness feelings. And so it is contrary to the will and commandment of God that those who receive not their inheritance by consecration, agreeable to his law. Brigham Young is twisting this with section 119, not talking about section 85. Because this has to do with the latter days. It has to do with me. It has to do with Russell Marion, Lucifer. Verse 8, we're getting to it. Which he has given, that he may tithe his people. Tithing is the poor, section 64, not 119. It's a forged document of the Danites. Section 64 refers to Malachi. You can look it up. Prove me wrong. I dare you. We'll do it. Do they even have 64 here? They don't even reference 64. Nope, they put tithing. They did put Malachi. TNC 113 and 14. Oops. No 64. Bruce R. McConkie failed to footnote section 64. So let me do it for you. Section 64. Oh, look. The date. September 11th, 1831. He that is tithed shall not be burned at the Lord's coming. Verses 23 to 25. So we just go down to 23. Behold, now it is called today until the coming of who? The Son of Man. Now do you see why Bruce R. McConkie did not put section 64 in verse 3 of section 85? Because, oops, verse 7 is the Son of Man, the one mighty and strong. Jesus, in chapter 24 of Matthew. The apostles, because it's literal history, because Constantine said so in the Nicene Creed, asked Jesus, when are you coming for the second time, since you failed us this first time, to fulfill the prophecies of the Jewish prophecies that this is itself a prophecy of? And so he says, Son of man, 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 Son of man. Not Jesus, not him. And all Christians get confused on this. Mormons are confused on this. This is the Jewish Christ, Emmanuel. That's why they don't footnote it. They refer to Malachi 3, but nope, not section 85. Section 119. They don't want you to know. The day that shall burn as an oven. Now do you understand why they had to hide and lie about the book of the law of God? This is Joseph's tithing. It's donation to help the poor. And so you pay tithing to the poor to prepare you against the day of the vengeance. Oh, there it was in 64. Why isn't 64 in here in the footnotes? I told you why. Because verse 7 cannot be the Son of Man. It's Brigham. And burning should have their names enrolled with the people of God. Church of the Lamb, Church of the Devil. Nelson by name is Lucifer. I by name am Emmanuel. I am the Church of the Lamb, the Church of Amen Christ. If you remember that scandal that the church caused and the criminal actions on that. And Mormons don't get it. Jesus. Everything's about Jesus. We've been hypnotized with our feelings rather than being intelligent and studying and researching and using science and using sound Socratic methodology for theory development and testing. Because the church tells you that intelligence is evil, science is evil. It takes you away from the truth of our lies. And so neither is their genealogy to be kept. I told you the ledger is now going to be used against you for your wickedness. We will not have spies in Zion. You are not allowed in. And I now have the book that exposes you as to who you are. And so the only people then who can sneak in are those who are not literal descendants of the Danites, but who betrayed Joseph in the Book of Mormon. The Neo-Danites. but you're not smart enough. You're not intelligent. You're using feelings. And so I can expose you. And so your genealogy will expose you. Your pedigree chart used on your missions. I did remember. Will be used against you. Or to be had where it may be found on any of the records or history of the church. So when I filed a petition with the state of Utah for a redress of grievances, the First Amendment, against the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints and the government for aiding and abetting the criminal operations of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints in regards to my ex and the children. That's what that one was all about on August 6th, 2008. Mark Shurtleff, Attorney General, and disgraced in retirement for betraying the church. Nonetheless, plotted with the church as to what to do with me. Violated all the laws of the land, of the Constitution, federal and state government. They decided that they were going to disappear me for the rest of my life. For filing a petition for a redress of grievances that exposes the church and the Utah government in conjunction and conspiring with the church. That violated my rights as an American citizen. 14th Amendment, Section 1. It's for me too. And I was arrested. I was locked up in the Salt Lake County Jail. They purposely put me in the psychiatric observation area, where I was denied all rights. I didn't get to go to court. Didn't get to have a bail hearing. I disappeared. I was only able to get out because I tricked one of the dumbass psychos that I had a toothache. And I did, because I'm not allowed to brush my teeth. I'm not allowed to bathe. No shaving. No toilet paper. No bed. It was the metal mattress. Or it was the metal frame. No mattress. Air conditioning worked in that area of the building. And so I'm cold on a metal frame. Naked. This is torture. I hadn't been found guilty. I hadn't been sentenced and judged. I didn't have due process. I didn't have a trial. I was being tortured in the Salt Lake County Jail. For what? Because I filed a petition for a redress of grievances with the state of Utah about the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Nobody else can say otherwise, despite their having sealed the documents so that nobody else would know. I was erased. My dad threw away all my property to erase me from the family. The Deseret News erased my name from the comments that I used to put in there. I knew about it because I found the comment replies to my comments. They didn't erase them. And so my name was in their comments. That's how I knew I got erased. The Deseret News erased me from their records. It was about R-rated movies about Benson and the Hubble telescope. the Big Bang Theory. I was right, they're wrong, but their comments remain that are wrong. Mine, which were right, are gone. It's the French Catholic priest who created the Big Bang Theory. It's a fake theory. Remember, that's my specialty. The whole Big Bang Theory is a fraud. The vegetation theory has been around for a long, long time, and it's a confirmed, established fact. But he's trying to say that the Bible, with the Christian Catholic interpretation, is the correct one. Creatio ex nihilo. So the Big Bang was created to confirm that, sure enough, the Catholic Church is true. Sorry, Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Constantine does it again. And then the R-rated one? No, Benson quoted from the 13th Article of Faith. If there is anything lovely, of good report, or praiseworthy, we seek after it. And so it's supposed to be understood in that context. But every Mormon put a period after he said, don't watch R-rated movies. That's what that little girl only said. She quoted from it. I was referencing it. She did not read the context. She should have also read, if she read it because she was quoting from it, that she, when she gets pregnant, is a pernicious evil. Quote, unquote. Read it. To the youth of the noble birthright. When I just became a priest, Metallica just came out with Master of Puppets that he condemns. I know this, little girl. You cannot own me on this. You cannot gaslight me. I was told I was held in reserve to be in God's army to overthrow the government. I have to keep bringing these out. You're supposed to keep silent. That's what Paul tells you. Do it. If you don't have knowledge, just keep quiet. That's all you gotta do. Just say, I don't know. I can't make a comment. But nope. She exposes herself as dumb. Just like the other guy did. Because the other guy responded, no, it's called the Hubble telescope because Hubble invented the Big Bang. Wrong! God. So, where were we? No apostates. No genealogy. Names shall not be found. The names of the fathers and the names of their children. Written in the book of the law of God. See, that's why the Danites were doing this. They were purposely getting their names in their book of the law of God. Secret combination. Joseph Smith was not doing this. The Danites were doing it and justifying it by claiming that this is according to Joseph Smith. We're using Joseph Smith's journal book to put it in. saying the Lord of hosts. And so this is what this is. You are the children of the Danites. Your third great-grandfather, or second to fifth, wherever you fall in. That's you. That's why they did it. So when they overthrow the United States of America, they will reference this book that they just released, rushed it, to give the faithful, i.e. those who are descendants of the Danites, who are still paying tithing, their land. So those who are paid, gotta make sure I also put in Hinckley's little comment that I've been doing for you. Hinckley's vid clip. We'll put that at the beginning of each and every single segment here, because this is what it's about. To pay the extortion racket, so that when you overthrow the government in the latter days, establishing the kingdom, and Brigham Young's Deseret was a symbolic thing of this. It was the other plan after society not to be the secret combination government with Joseph Smith as the president, to have Joseph Smith and Sidney Rigdon assassinated so that they then take over as a military coup to demand that the United States fall under the rule of Brigham Young, the new leader of the church. And so instead they murdered him and came to Mexico territory and established his new kingdom of Deseret there instead, where the Confederates in the South, who came from the Illuminati, as I have to keep repeating because these videos are going to be in segments and people are going to come to the ones later and not the first one. Who then assassinated Abraham Lincoln. And that's the history that they will not tell you about, because they did not know, because Joseph Smith Sr. kept it a secret from you on 9/11/1826 to make sure the Book of Mormon got published, to warn you. But like I've been telling you throughout this whole 4 hours, I still have to bathe and shave and have breakfast. I haven't been eating much I have to remember, oh yeah, I haven't eaten all day today. I better get a sandwich, peanut butter and jelly. How was your Thanksgiving dinner? And this day is gone. Yea, thus saith the still small voice. So the question is, do I save each one and then upload them this afternoon? Late this afternoon? Depending on how much longer I go? I don't know. But this is a new video series. That is for certain. God. Yea, thus saith the still small voice. What the hell is that? Well, we read, ponder, and pray, and we get a feeling. What's this still small voice? What the hell? Which whispers through and pierceth all things, and oft times it maketh my bones to quake while it maketh manifest, saying, here it is, the prophecy of the latter days. Mormons, why do you choose to be ignorant? Why do you choose to be a moron? Seriously, why do you choose not to be intelligent, not to gain intelligence? And you think that you're bright? that you're the inverted pentagram of Lucifer, symbol of brightness, bearer of light. Jesus. Oh my God, how did you get so fooled? How? Is it because you know you're a Danite and you're those evil women? Oh my God, and evil men in this case? Oh dear God. And so, this is a prophecy. And Joseph Smith Sr., Fielding Smith Sr., sorry, the son of Hiram Smith, who I told you hours ago, days ago, is his wife became a polygamous wife of Heber C. Kimball, but not having sex, just for being taken care of. And Joseph Fielding Smith, as we all know, became the president of the church. When? Oh, after the United States shut it down. Yes, Wilford Woodruff pretended to be the president of the church when he was no longer the president of the church. He rose up and took authority over the church. The United States shut down the church under John Taylor and had John Taylor thrown in prison with his other Danites for their tithing crimes that, yes, involved sex trafficking of women in polygamy. Because when you have a regular crime and you mix it with money, it becomes a worse crime. So polygamy becomes sex trafficking. And the pioneer journey to the valley becomes slave trafficking, human trafficking, as they had to pay back the perpetual immigration fund money. And Brigham Young made it worse to say that once they had paid it off in full, you're now an American citizen. Here's your citizenship. Oops! So that you can vote in the elections for polygamy! And anything else that the church wants you to vote for. You know, like Sister Mendenhall for mayor over that evil Rocky Anderson apostate. Because Rocky Anderson, in case you didn't know his history when he was the mayor at one time, he wouldn't tolerate the church's nonsense. And so he decided to run again this year. Against Mendenhall, who hates the poor. She's a Danite. At least her husband is. He's on the records of the ledger. The book of the law of God.